Hi, I'd like to talk a little bit about different approaches to blues. I hear a lot of people say, oh, who's the greatest blues player? And in a sense, that's a bit of a non-question, because there's so many slants on blues, so many different approaches that, there are myriads of brilliant blues players, and each have their own credence. And you can mention your Albert Kings and your Muddy Waters, your T-Bone Walkers, your Stevie Ray Vaughans, and they're all, brilliant in their own way. But it's your voice that matters, and how you speak through your guitar. And nobody will play it like you. So, don't be afraid to develop your own style. Yeah, you'll take stuff from lots of different players, but never ever try and copy people, because it's impossible. Just use some of what they've got, and some of what somebody else has got, and put your own input into it, and then develop, as I say, your own voice. The stable of blues, as people often say, is this 1-4-5 movement, and if you're not sure what that is, in future videos we'll explain that, but it's a movement between chords built on the 1st, the 4th and the 5th degrees of the scale, but often it's nice to put in other chords or variations of those chords to make a more subtle flavour. So I want to look at a system that I like, and it's something that probably is more leaning towards what Robin Ford might do, more of a bluesy, jazzy thing. I wouldn't attempt to do some of the stuff he does, because he has a magic touch and a knowledge of chords and movement which is, special to him. But nevertheless, if I was going to play a one chord as, say, a 7th, I would probably play it like that, as a 7th. Now, I'll not figure that one out, because I'm going to do it differently in a minute. So that would be my one chord, a 7th. I might want to extend that chord and play a 13th, which, the full 13th would be something like this. And that's a 13th. However, as I say, I'm going to slightly do it differently, because I want to put in a little bit of a bass run, and I want to play some economic chords. Then I'm actually going to play this note with my thumb, like that, which means I can put those fingers down like that and play my 7th like that. And basically, what I'm doing here is putting my thumb on the 5th position of the 6th string, my 2nd finger 5th position of the 4th string, and my 3rd finger the 6th position of the 3rd string, and I'm just plucking those 3 with my right hand, and that's a 7th, and that's going to be my one chord. And I might want to move. That's quite nice, but I want to add a bit more subtlety. So yeah, first pass could be, but as I say, we're talking about 13ths. Now, again, I'm going to knock off the bass string. I'm going to play the top half of the 13th. So in actual fact, I'm going to move that up to there, those 3 notes. And so I get... And again, what have I got here? I've got 2nd finger, 6th position, 4th string, 3rd finger, 7th position, 3rd string, 4th finger, 8th position on the 2nd string. And I'm going to play those 3 again as a pluck for now. We can do something else with the pluck later, but as a pluck. So I might want to do something like this. Now again, in blues, to make it more subtle, you have this thing called question and answer. It comes from, they say, you know, in the fields, the slaves shout into each other, hollowing as they work. In actual fact, they say they were passing messages, but you'd have, you know, question, and then you'd have an answer. So you'd have da 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 da, and then the answer would be da 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 da. And so in blues, you tend to get this statement and then followed by statement which is slightly different. So if I'm going to go as a question, I want an answer to that. Now this 13th, I'm playing, as I say, 4th, 3rd and 2nd strings. But I can actually lay that finger down onto the 1st string and play that. So it's only one note difference, so it's either or. And although that doesn't sound too different here, if I put it into my sequence, it more of a jazzy flavour again. That's nice. If we have, imagine I've got a bass guitar, nice bit of a you know, a drum with a snare on, and something else, maybe a bit of piano going on there. You can hear what could be going on. And you've always, when you play, got to hear all these things in your head. You know, I've got a whole orchestra in my head when I'm playing, so I can hear the different parts. I appreciate you can't, but when I lay down a track, I'm going to try and put those bits in. Okay, so that's your one chord dealt with. You know, your first line. To go to the 4th chord, which normally would be D7th, but I again want to extend it by playing the 13th to the 9th, sorry. So what am I doing here? I'm playing the 13th, which is a full 13th here. So we've got 2nd finger, 5th string, 5th position, 1st finger, 4th position, 4th string, 3rd finger, 3rd string, 5th position, and then your little fingers can actually stretch up to the 7th position, and it's going to go over both the 1st and 2nd strings. So if I pluck it, I'm going to miss out that 4th string. And that's your 13th. To get to your 9th, you're just going to move that little finger down to the 5th position and put it on the 1st and 2nd strings. So you might get that come in? I don't know. And that's good. Except I'd like this bit of an answer on the 4th chord. So, you know, that's your first pass. And that's your second pass, that chord. So what we're doing there, I'm putting second finger, 6th position, 5th string, yeah. First finger, 5th position on the 3rd string, and third finger, 7th position on the 4th string. And I can actually lay that finger down actually and play my second string as well. And that's just a discord which is quite nice. And that leads you nicely back onto we've got to end. So rather than go straight to the 5 chord, which would be the D7th, I'm going to go to the one above. Okay. Which is F7th, yeah. And I did say D7 before, and actually that was E7th I meant. Yeah. So yes, it's the 5 chord in actual fact is E7th. I said D7th before, I was wrong. But it's E7th, so I would go to the F7th first. Again. So how would that fit in? Okay. To alter that right at the end. Yeah, we go to the F7th, then the E7th, but then I'm going to drop it down to the sort of -9th. So it's like just to give it a subtle discord again. So what are we doing here? That's your F7th, which is your triangle, which is second finger on the 8th position on the 5th string, first finger on the 7th position of the 4th string, and third finger on the 8th position of the 3rd string, and it's just your triangle for your 7th. When I move it down to the E7th, again, same shape, but I'm then going to put my little finger on the 2nd string on the 8th position. So it's for the F7th. But then your -9th is actually taking that finger off, leaving those two where they are, but using your first finger to put a bar across your 6th position. So let's play the whole thing through. An idea for playing a little bit more subtle, economic, jazzy, bluesy type of feel. Now, you know, that's just a straight flat play. I haven't put any emphasis or feeling or, you know, vibrato or anything into that. It was just a straight showing of what chord system I would use, but it brings a huge wealth of interesting phrasing, which I'm going to look at in the next video. Because, you know, if you're playing like a 13th, you've got, yeah, and you know, so if you're going like, you know, and so you can imagine going like, and so on. I know I'm waffling, but the whole idea is that's the sort of phrasing you can get using lots of chromatics, lots of nice, interesting 13th and 9th notes. You know, we're going to look at how to do that in the next video. So yeah, interesting chord shapes, economics, 2 and 3 strings. One of the things I haven't looked at, which I'll do in the next video, is something called a clipped arpeggio. Right now I'm just plucking, you know, I'm literally going, but in actual fact, if you actually hold your strings rather than plucking up, but twist them up, it gives a much subtler sound. Anyway, hope that gave you some sort of idea and something to think about. But don't be afraid to experiment with your own chords. You know, if it sounds good, use it. You know, you don't have to explain it. You don't have to understand what the chord's called. If you go, oh, I like that, then use it. Don't think, oh, it's a flat and 6th and 19th, 13th, whatever. Just say, I love the sound. I can see where I'm going to fit that. I can see where I'm going to build around it. It's all about your head. If beauty is in the eye of the beholder, then blues and music is in the ear of the beholder. So what sounds good to you, what fits for you, you know, is true to what you want to play. So just listen to the sounds, listen to your head, and experiment. Thank you for watching.